Gibbs, driver of the 13 Mitigator Ford Fusion. I'd like to thank you for listening to Let's Talk Racing.tv.
Danny Jr., driver of the number 5 Kiker Motorsports Camry. Welcome to Let's Talk Racing TV.
With Rockingham Speedway. Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Tony Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota in the NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Alright, ready? Go.
It's Let's Talk Racing. We're here at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame, and we have Doug here, he's a flagman, and then we have Donny Schatz' mom and his sister, and we're going to interview them all today. So, let's see, who should I start with? Well, do you mind if I do ladies first?
That's fine with me.
All right. Well, what do you... It's nice to meet you two, and we're so glad that you're able to come and take some time to be on the show. I know you're real busy selling all the merchandise and stuff like that. What do you really think got your son into racing? Like, did you all grow up watching racing together and he really got passionate about it? Like, what do you think got him hooked to it?
Well, my husband Danny raced sprint cars, so it was kind of a given, you know, kind of running a family type thing.
Did anybody else in the family race besides his father? Or was it just him?
Grandpa Chris liked to do chariot racing, horse chariot racing. So the number 15 goes back to that.
Wow.
So racing has kind of always been in
the family.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about him? Like when he said, "I wanted to race like Dad," what kind of went through your mind when he said that?
You know, I guess it was always in our mind because
you knew it was going to happen.
When I met Danny, that's what he was doing too. So it just happened because it was part of the family and what Danny liked to do too. So
yeah. Now you're the sister. What did you think about your brother when you heard he was getting into racing like your dad? Like what kind of went through your mind when he told you, "Hey, I'm going to do racing like Dad"?
Well, I don't think he really said. It's just as long as we can remember, that's what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there wasn't like a conversation where we all sat down and discussed this. Mm-hmm. It was just kind of the way it was.
Ever since he was little.
Yeah. Because as long as I can remember, he was racing go-karts first, and then it just kind of gradually progressed into something bigger. So, and we were just always kind of there watching.
So it's like a king and queen of the country. It automatically falls down the line.
Right. Well, we didn't get the opportunity to race. Nobody brought us to the table and said, "Do you want to race too?" We just.
Well, it's nice to get
to. You can still bring that up.
But it must be nice traveling around with them, though. You get to see all kinds of places, get to go everywhere, stadiums. It must be nice.
Well, I go to all the events because I do the vending trailer. Unfortunately, not everybody gets to go.
So how many times do you get to go?
Well, now that I'm married with kids, maybe always Knoxville, I'd never miss, and Fargo if they're there, Grand Forks, Minot, Sioux Falls sometimes. Just wherever it's close.
So you kind of go when you can.
Yeah, go when you can. Yep. We listen religiously. We don't miss a race on the internet, so you're kind of there, but you're not. You know, a lot of times it's a better seat when you're listening.
Mm-hmm. Has there ever been like kind of scary moments, like when he goes to race? You ever get a little nervous because this stuff can be, pretty dangerous out here. It's pretty nerve-wracking. Just me watching it. I don't even know anybody. It's just crazy.
I think everybody can get a little nervous or anxious or. There's always going to be issues when you come to lap traffic or rough tracks or holes in the corners. These guys race wheel to wheel, and it can get pretty intense sometimes. But as the more years and the more laps they make, the more confidence they have, and that's helped us to have more confidence in his driving too.
Mm-hmm. Now, when did you start selling and running the merchandise for him? Because did you just start doing it when he was little? When did you really start getting into that and doing it for him and helping him out?
We did a little bit out of the actual transporter itself, when he raced the Wissota series, when he started out when he was 14, 15 years old. And then he went in 97, he ran for Rookie of the Year with the World of Outlaws. He had a motorhome and he towed a small trailer, and we did a little bit out of there, but he also had a vehicle in there. But it's been the last 10 years that we've been pretty much full-time out here with at all the events. We've missed a few, but very few. Knoxville, I think we've done since 97. Been here every year since 97. So it's been a long time.
Now, you've seen him always race, and you've always been supportive of him. What do you think would be, like, one of the biggest moments that that he had? Like, you saw him come back, and that had to be a really great moment for him in his racing. Both of you can answer, because we're going to ask him this later if he's on the show. Like, what was your best moment, favorite moment?
Well, I think my favorite moment for him was in 2006 when he won the Knoxville Nationals.
What do you think would be?
I think it's a combined, in the last couple of years when you win the big things like the Kings Royal and the Williams Grove National Open and the Knoxville Nationals, and all these things combined in 1 year, I think to him, for me, I think that was a big moment because you've accomplished everything big. And Knoxville Nationals is huge, but there's not a lot of guys that can say they've won every big race, really, that is presented by any promoter. And I'm sure his Knoxville National win, he's going to tell you, is the greatest, because as we all know, he had a lot of seconds, and thirds, and fourths, and
all the other.
Yeah, so I would say that he's probably going to say that, but the year that he kind of won everything all in 1 year, the big events, is a huge feat for him.
Now, did he ever race against his dad? Like, did he ever get to do that?
No, Danny quit racing in, we started in the truck stop business in 77.
Oh.
And that year was Danny's last year of racing, and that was the year Don was born.
Oh, wow.
Oh, one time him and Donny raced.
Oh, that's right.
Here we go.
When Dad got in a race car, and we were all like,
That's right. We were in Fargo. It was Soda Race. It was.
It didn't come back as quick as I think you wanted it to.
No.
No, it's not like you can just jump right back in and.
He must have been like.
And they raced last year.
40 plus.
In what are those little cars that we?
Legends. Yeah, Legends.
Last year they raced each other in the Legends, and at our racetrack in Fargo, and we were all kind of crossing our fingers that Donny wouldn't lap Dad. Like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. That's going to kill him. Because Donny was significantly faster, and I was hoping that he wouldn't lap Dad because Dad wasn't very fast. He was trying, and I was like, please don't pass him.
It's like, just be nice.
You're going to break him forever. So it never did happen.
It's like one of those things where it's like, let Dad have it, I know you really want to, but just let him have it, right?
And when Donny got out, he said, was Dad even close to me? And I said, no. You almost slapped him. So he was the first question he had is, how close was Dad to me? So those are 2 times I can remember. Nothing
I remember in the sprint car that time, Danny got out of the car. He said, it was really hot that day. It was in June. It was like a 316 show going on in Fargo, if I remember right, wasn't it? Yeah. And he was pretty warm and hadn't done it for a long time, and he got out of the car. He said, I got to get out of here before I have the big one. It was poor on him.
We always ask, what do you think would be, like, you saw him do something, an embarrassing moment for him? Like, you saw that and you're like, wow, that had to be embarrassing for him. Or does anything happen where you were kind of like, man, that's my son or that's my brother, doing something crazy?
Or just
racing, or if you were traveling to a race, anything like that.
Like shows up at the wrong track.
If he like fall while getting out of the car, or something crazy happened while getting ready, anything like that.
We were just talking earlier at the racetrack that he got hit in the head and he fell right off the back of the four-wheeler at Las Vegas.
Yeah.
He got hit in the head, but I think he felt embarrassed about that. But, I can't say that I remember an embarrassing moment.
Come on, you're the sister. This is your chance to really get your brother before we ask him.
This would come back to haunt me. So
no,
I got to keep all my good stories in my pocket.
Somebody else see it. No, I promise. My lips are sealed on this. I will not tell.
Yeah, I can't think of anything. He's a very shy and modest. People get the wrong impression of him. He doesn't talk. We're kind of opposite personalities. I'm a talker.
He's
not.
A little more on the
He's
quiet side.
Yeah, he's very serious all the time. He gets misconstrued as being kind of, not the friendliest personality or whatever, but he's just not. He's not a social person. He doesn't go to concerts. You're not going to find him at the mall. He's not. He doesn't like to be in crowds.
So you run into him, you better get a picture or something real quick before he slips away.
No, he's good about it. He's just not outgoing as the rest of us in the family. I'm not sure how that came about, but I can't think of anything really embarrassing at the racetrack. He's pretty serious.
Next time I have him on the show, I'll ask.
Yeah.
If
we weren't there and it happened, he wouldn't tell us anyway. So maybe you'll get some information on that we don't have.
Yeah. We'll fill y'all in on that.
Yeah.
Now, we also have Doug here.
Now I have to look at the other shows we've done with him already just to see if we already got some.
I think, when I asked him, I think he said one, didn't he? Because I asked him, because that was when I just thought of the question. Like, I was thinking of questions I can ask the drivers, and I was like, favorite moment, worst moment. Roger's like, no, you got to go for the meat. You got to ask embarrassing. And I was like, fine for you, I'll do that. And I think we got a story out of him. We'll have to look back at that.
Listen to it.
And listen to it and see if we got a story out of him. And
he remembers a lot of details over the years. The good thing about getting older is, we can forget a lot of that stuff.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
And I kind of knew this was getting serious when we had a family picture painted one time. And there was of us kids. And Donnie had on a Steve Kinzer racing shirt. Okay, and it was one of those hand portraits with the pastel and all this.
Chalk.
And he said, don't put Steve Kinzer's name on it, put Doug Wolfgang. So he was wearing a Steve Kinzer shirt, but they put Doug Wolfgang across the front, and that's on our family picture downstairs in the basement. It's my sister and I, and then him in a separate frame, and it says Doug Wolfgang across the front of his shirt.
Well,
that's going to be hanging up forever.
oh, wow. No,
Yeah.
that's pretty funny. Oh, my goodness. Now,
What year was it when Wolfgang came through the D, the C, the B, and the A? We were here a long time ago.
Yeah, it was one of those deals where we started in the Saturday afternoon type of deal, went all night long.
Right, and I remember that year Don was, he was here, and I think he could tell you what Wolfgang did on every lap.
Because Wolfgang was driving the 18 Kodiak car, and he made a U-turn right here, and back when they didn't have all those guardrails and stuff, because I remember seeing the videos and stuff, and I was up there sweating and dirty and all that kind of stuff.
We had a writer that Terry O'Connell know, and he got to interview Wolfgang, and he was talking about him a little bit, and it was interesting, some of the stuff he was saying about it and all. He sounded like a pretty awesome driver. Now, we also have Doug here. He's a flagman now. We get to you. How long have you guys known him? Because you walked up and you were like, I got him and stuff.
I think I ran for the Queen's contest here in like 1998, I think. Well, I'll never do it again. No. I did it one time, and I am not Queen material. It was a really good experience, and I was first runner-up. But
wow,
I think that was the year I first met him, because I think my first Knoxville was 96 or 97. And I don't know, I met him on the front stretch or something. And then he's in Sioux Falls, but don't get to see each other very often anymore.
Oh, this is nice.
It's nice he still recognizes me.
I used to be in love with her, but her dad wouldn't let me break that shirt.
Now, I'm telling everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
I'm the flagman at Knoxville Raceway. I'm from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I got a birthday coming up here in a few more weeks.
Oh, wow. When's your birthday?
29 again, all right.
Yeah. No, I'm happy. I'll be turning, 60 come September 19th. Born and raised in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and last time I knew I was probably the only black flagman in the United States. Blind in one eye, and I'm black.
Oh, wow.
And I'm proud of it.
I didn't even know.
Yeah, that I was black or one
No,
eye?
blind.
You got a double whammy on that. That's a tough one to follow.
Oh, gosh. Now, how long have you been doing the flagman job?
I've been down here in Knoxville Raceway for 28 years, and I've been flagging for 33.
Wow. Now, Do you like it? Like, is it really exciting? Like, how's the view from up there?
No, I just do it just because.
Passing the time?
Yeah, and I'm not. Well, yeah, I love flagging. It's and now that I'm more or less getting into it more, it's a lot more fun, and people get to know me, and especially the racers. The racers know how I try and control the races and things like that. So it turns out pretty good.
What got you into doing flagging? Like, what made you think, like, that'd be really cool to be a flagger for a race? Like, do you know anything that kind of got you interested to do that?
Back in South Dakota, we had a racetrack up there, and I used to help a guy by the name of Daryl Dahl that got killed here at Knoxville. And before that happened, he was having a lot of troubles and stuff like that, and crashed a lot of race cars. And he was kind of getting out of racing type of deal, so I got tired of working on the race cars and things. And they had a racetrack going in Hartford, South Dakota, and they needed a flagman. A guy by the name of Dean was quitting from Jackson, Minnesota. And I said, well, let me try it. Well, then there was another guy that wanted to do it. So every other week I'd get to flag. And the people saw that I was more serious about it and wanted to take off with it. And then they started liking me, so then I started flagging regularly. At the same time, I was still coming down to Knoxville Nationals, and I was still in the grandstands, and I was flagging in Hartford. And I'd come down here and ask Ralph Capitani, that's back when they had the mystery races. And I said, Cap, you got a mystery race, how about a mystery flagman? So I did that 2 years in a row. And Cappy called me one winter and said, Doug, we're looking for a flagman. I want to know if you wanted to do it. And so I said, well, at that same time, I was trying to get to be flagging at Jackson, Minnesota, and that was a volunteer type of deal where they couldn't pay nobody. So I said, how would you guys like to rent my flags? And I'll run the flags. When they didn't give me an answer back, on that same time, Cappy called me, and I said, can I call you back in a couple of weeks and give you an answer? Well, they said, no, we can't. Jackson, Minnesota said they didn't want me or whatever. So then I called Cappy back up, and the rest is all history, as they say. So
now, have you you obviously flagged at other places. What would you say be like your favorite track that you went to and flagged to? Like you saw it was a really good race, you enjoyed it, you like going there.
Let me see. I work at Knoxville, and I make a pretty good living here.
So you like this one?
Yeah.
Knoxville, huh?
But throughout my 28 years of flagging, I've been in 18 different states and flagged races and stuff like that. Back when, the guy by the name of Ted Johnson used to run the World of Outlaws, he used to have different promoters that would have him, put a race on during the middle of the week. And a lot of the promoters knew that I could, get away in the middle of the week and stuff, so they'd hire me to come out there and do a 1 or 2 day show and stuff like that. And one that really sticks in my mind is the very first Las Vegas show out there, and they had me come out there and do that. I mean, they were picking up rocks. They were 6 to 8 inches big. They were monster boulders. And so they weren't very happy about that. And then there was a race out in Rapid City, South Dakota, where the racetrack had a lot of rocks in it. And if you have never ever been on a flag stand and you see a rock that's like 2 inches, that would be like getting hit with a 30-30 bullet. So I kind of get a little gun shy when I see rocks laying on a racetrack and stuff like that.
Oh man! Now, before you did flagging, did you watch racing, and what got you into that? Like, did family watch it, and do you watch other types of racing, or just one, like the sprint cars?
No, I just. My whole life revolves around racing. That's probably why I don't have a wife nowadays. We don't want to go there, but anyway, I used to work on race cars and stuff. So, and my main thing, I would always give Daryl hand signals, letting him know where the next place car was running and the guys behind. But I'd also watch the flagman to know when he would start him, and I'd tell Daryl as well, if you start going at this point, the green flag's going to be coming out. Because if a flagman's consistent and things like that, and I should be getting these secrets away now. The shots here. Yeah. But
we can edit that part out. Now your secret's safe with us.
Yeah. But you kind of watch where stuff's at. And 99% of your flagmen, if they're fairly good or good, they're pretty consistent with where they start and stuff. Because I have places here where I know where I'm going to be waving my flag at and what's going to be happening after that point. So That's the thing.
Try to change them up just to catch them off guard?
Do I really have to answer that?
I think it means yes.
Sometimes I will, like on some of the shows. It depends on who the guys are up front, because I know they'll try and play games.
Yeah.
And if there's like cars back or whatever, and so you catch them off guard, and those guys are at that time they're just trying to swing out, and if you give the green flag, then you busted those guys that are trying to jump or whatever. So, and used to be back in the older days when I was really a hard whatever they want to call me. I'd bust guys, and we used to put them all the way to the tail. And I hate saying this word, but I think that's where I gained most of my respect, because back in 83 or 80 whatever it was I started, Sammy Swindell and Doug Wolfgang were on the front row. And I don't know if Wolfgang played a little game on Sammy or Sammy played a game on Wolfgang, but Sammy took off. And when I'm on the flag stand, I don't know those guys by names and stuff. I know them by numbers, and I know them by colors of the car. And I said, I don't know who that guy is in the red #1 car, but he needs to go to the back. And at that time, it was when Sammy Swindell was driving the old Milwaukee cars. So.
That's funny you say that, because at the racetrack in Fargo, I've said it like 5 times to our flagman. I'm like, can't we get a little Doug Clark here and get some control over these guys that are racing? Because if you don't have a flagman that's in control, it's kind of like having a bunch of employees. I mean, with manager, you have got to have somebody that has respect to the drivers, or know that he's going to do something.
Yeah.
Or you have a total complete mess.
Yeah.
And we see that all the time. I wish our flagmen, and they do a good job, but if he had like a Doug Clark flag school or something like that, or
you might need to start that, maybe.
I've had it a while back.
And the thing is, you can't just talk tough at the drivers' meeting. You have to follow through with it.
You
can't just say, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then get up on the flag stand and not do anything.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent all the time, and that's... Now I see it from a different angle out at the racetrack, because if you don't have that control, you have a mess.
Yeah.
And they consistently try to take advantage, because one spot's one spot.
Yeah. 3/4 of my flagging job is done right on the flag stand.
Right.
So and I tell them how I'm going to do it, and after this many years, most of the guys know how I'm going to do it. But I always try. It gets repetitive, especially at this part of the season or whatever, because it's like 10 days you say the same thing. But if you don't say it, that's when you end up with trouble.
And they don't just automatically follow the rules.
No.
You have to have somebody up there that's making them follow the rules, because he's not just waving the flag to wave it. I mean, he's in control, which you understand.
That's a compliment. Thank you.
Well, since we've had the racetrack, I really kind of understood that now. It's like, if you don't have control, you're kind of, it is a mess.
And her dad and brother both know that there's a couple times down here I busted Donny on the stuff, and Mark Kinzer was a good one. And there was one time I busted Mark Kinzer for a jump or whatever, and I drive down to corner 4 back when I used to sit there and BS with everybody and stuff. And my son comes down on the grandstands. He said, "Dad, what's wrong with your car?" Well, somebody went and threw brake fluid on the side of the car, and the paint was just running off the side of it. It was bare metal. So, and that's just one of those disgruntled pit crew guys that, didn't like the call, but the call came from me. No, it wasn't the Schatz family. No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't the Schatz family.
Now, have you gotten, like real friendships with any of the drivers, like to where the point where you're like, or you do like you say, tough knit grit, like I'm
if they don't have their uniforms on, they're my friends. If they have their uniforms on, they're doing a job, and I'm doing a job, and that's just the way I try to keep it. I'm trying to get Justin to take that kind of attitude too, but he's my son and he does the 360 down there, but it's just hard to you just got to earn that whatever you want to call it.
Time for business. It's time for business.
Once they put their uniform on and they're getting paid to do their job, and I put my uniform on, I'm getting paid to do my job, and that's all she boils down to. So
it's the same thing with the drivers.
Yeah.
They put their uniform on. They're there to do a job.
They're focused. I mean,
they're focused on what's happening.
You've got a lot of drivers that are good friends with each other, but they'll tell you when it's time to be out on the track. It's business time.
Exactly.
It's game time.
And you have to be, otherwise you shouldn't even be in the sport, because everybody that's into this kind of sport knows it's a very, very dangerous job, or thing that they're out there doing. And it's like, I was watching those races last night, watching and flagging stuff, but those guys got so much talent. I mean, it's just, they're making moves that you would never think would happen, and they got the horsepower in the cars and stuff. It's just great to watch that kind of deal.
You've probably seen a lot of change in that in the last 10 years.
Yeah, a lot of change.
Keenly competitive now.
It's just, as far as the horsepower in the race cars and the talents that these guys are running and things like that, it's just amazing because they, like a lot of these guys up in the grandstands, they'll be sitting up there drinking beer all night long, and they don't like this guy did this to their driver. They're going to go down there and take him on. I'll tell you what, those guys are horsepower in those race cars around there. They got some pretty good forearms on them. Yeah, they'll thump somebody pretty big. Yeah.
And if they don't, they've got some crew guys that bust
the whole crew will get involved. You got the backup with the crew.
But then again, you got the other side of the deal where the driver will kind of blow up at an official and just sit there and badmouth them and call them every kind of name till the flagman comes out and gets in their face too. So
throw the steering wheel at them.
Yeah. I don't want to mention no names or nothing.
It was funny when you talked about the guys with the arms. Now, you see Kyle, Kyle Larson.
Yes.
He's almost as skinny as she is.
I'm a pretty little thin thing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Good thing there's power steering.
Yeah.
I know.
And a lot of people, they say who's going to be, taking over this. Well, last night, or was it last night or night before, there was like Brad Sweet, Kevin Swindell, the Larson kid. It was like 4 or 5 guys. They're like in their early 20s or barely 21 and stuff. I'm saying that's probably be our future, but who's going to be, the leader of that group type of thing, far as running the race stuff.
It's not easy to stay in this sport for a long time. Sammy Swindell and Steve Kinzer have been in their whole lifetime. But I don't know if we'll see that going forward as much.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm talking
If you're with us in the museum, our auction will start approximately 5 minutes up on the second floor. Again, the Nationals
he's going to be
auction
another Tony
at
Stewart
12:30 this afternoon. There is no admission fee for the auction, so come on up and have some fun.
Yeah.
Now, do you flag for just sprint cars, or do you flag for any other types of racing?
Friday nights I go over to a racetrack. It's in Fairmont, Minnesota.
Local like Langley is for me.
And it's just all stock cars and stuff, and they like the job I do, and they know when I come in. And here we're back to the deal. The racers know if I'm there, they're going to get a pretty fair deal and stuff like that. So the guy has me come over every week, but I tell him, Knoxville is my priority, and any other race, I'll take care of. Craig Delansky, he has me come up to Spencer, Iowa, and do that race every year and stuff like that. So I just schedule stuff in around it and stuff.
So when it comes to watching racing, like you're mostly like watching the sprint cars. Like when you didn't like really get into any other types of racing. Like it was mostly sprint cars for you.
When I was in Vegas, I'd always go to the drag strip, or I'd go to the NASCAR.
Yeah, the drag race is pretty exciting.
But I'm not really a very good fan, because I like to drink Miller Lite, and so I'm there, and that's it. It's no big deal. I just say, well, all right, I was in Kansas City watching NASCAR, but it's not that big of a deal to me.
Yeah. Is there any other sports that you like besides doing the racing? Like, you watch anything else, or like any other types of sports?
I watch when it gets into the playoffs on the baseball, and I watch the NBA playoffs. So I'm not one of these people in the NFL. I'm not one of these people that'll dedicate my day to sit there and wait for a football game to start. I'm not going to sit there and go in the middle of the week and watch a baseball. No, I'll watch the stuff. I'll keep up on the stuff, but when it gets to the playoffs and stuff like that, then I'll try and keep up on it.
Usually watch things like that.
Like IndyCar, or Eyes Out as they call it nowadays. I don't even watch that on TV, but when it comes to the 500, I'll watch that.
All right. Do you have a favorite memory of flagging? Like, is there like a good memory that you can think of? Like,
no.
Really? What about like an embarrassing memory? Like you
really? Are you gonna go there?
Yes,
really?
Are
you really gonna go there?
Is there like a time where you forgot to flag something, or you picked up the wrong flag? I know you accidentally pull out the checkered, and it's supposed to be caution or
really?
stuff.
Are you really asking me this?
Yes, I'm really asking you this.
That would reflect back on Justin if it was here. He's standing right behind you.
Yeah, but this is before Justin started, because when I very first got the flagging job down there at Knoxville, I wasn't used. I didn't know about the wind and stuff that these wings created. So you know, where I was racing at, it wasn't that much. But I got down here at Knoxville, and something happened where the 3 or 4 of the guys were coming down the front straightaway, and the wind was. By the time they got there, somebody else crashed back here, and I went to grab the yellow flag, and they were going underneath the flag stand, and the wind just hauled it right back up in the grandstand. This little kick of, you need this, Doug? So that's my most embarrassing one. But then there was one time up in North Dakota, I was flagging for Don Mack. I think the flagman up there got hurt or whatever.
Yes, he did.
And Don Mack asked me to come flag, and I flagged up there. And at that time, I didn't wear safety glasses or goggles and stuff with a strap on them. And the flag got hooked underneath my glasses and flipped them on the racetrack. I got the races slowed down and got everybody moved down away from my glasses because I could see them, down right below me. And here comes the very last car. Wham! Runs right over them. So I tried finishing the race out, and without my glasses, I can't see here to the camera,
Like, oh man,
yeah.
Geez,
and then Ted Johnson sitting down there, and Bobby Allen was on the back straightaway, and he was coming around for the checkered flag, and I couldn't see Bobby Allen, and I just started waving the flag, and Ted Johnson's down there. He can't see. So I borrowed some glasses from a cameraman down there, and he had a wider head tonight, so we ended up taping those glasses to my head so I could see and finish the night out that way and stuff. So.
How'd you get home?
I had some other people with me, and they drove the van. Yeah. So if I don't have my glasses on, I can't see here from that wall and stuff. So. And my goggles I wear now they're prescription and stuff. So if I break those, something's going to happen.
It's kind of like, uh-oh, what am I going to do now, right?
Yeah. No, I got another pair in the car anyway.
That's good. Always have
that. Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you all so much for being on the show. And thanks for watching Let's Talk Racing. We're going to hopefully have some drivers. The screen went dark.
Oh, my God. The screen's dark.
That means that... Cut. You always say that. You say, it's been an hour. The screen will go.
This is great. 2 people are arguing.
I love it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to.
Yeah.
Well, what
the yellow flag is yellow flag's out.
Yellow. Hold on. There it is. Oh, no. Don't tell me we got disconnected again. That's not good.
I'm not going to tell these stories again.
Oh, why not? Just for us.
It's amazing. I'm sure over the years, Doug, you've seen so many different types of starts to races. We've got one guy with us now that really pretty slow on every start.
Yeah, now you mention now.
I've seen some cars get tore up over that too. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that as a flagman?
The thing is, there's nothing you can really do about that type of a start because he might have his car set up to where it takes off slow, so everybody behind him just has to kind of be patient and things like that and just wait. Cause there's nothing. I don't want him to go too. I could slow him down, but I can't tell. You can tell him to speed up just a little bit, but what their little speed up is going to be like 1 or 2 miles an hour, or a couple of RPMs or whatever. So how do you stop that type of deal?
I've seen quite a few cars get tore up this year with the double file restarts and that going on, and it's kind of disheartening for the people out here that are low budget and that type time after time. So I didn't know if there was any control of that situation.
Another thing that like we're talking about the world law is what I think they should do is like the late models or stock car guys do. It's called a Delaware start, where the leader's out front, then a second, third, fourth, back like that. I think that would be a lot safer.
Well, isn't it too that they have an option to start somewhere between 3 and 4?
Yeah, that
to me screws you up.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Because it's just you have to have a starting point in anything you do. You have to have a clear line of where to start and stop in life in general. So I don't understand why you can go somewhere between 3 and 4 and you have no idea, and it might be different the next time.
Why?
And everybody else is kind of waiting.
Yeah.
It's just, you can lose a half a lap just trying to figure out when they're going to go.
Exactly.
And it's dangerous.
Well, I think the thing that we've seen a lot this year, well, last year a little bit too, is those cars that are in row 6, 7, 8, 9 can't see that far ahead.
Yeah.
They got no idea where they're starting, and that's where all the wrecks are happening. Is
'Cause-
further back, not right up on the front.
Yeah, because if you're ever in a sprint car, all you see is the tail and the wing, and you see that guy make a move. Well, he's thinking everything's going. It's not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
I always ask Donny that if you know, it's different when you're listening because they make it sound exciting or whatever, but I always say, could you see him or how much can you, because every racetrack's a little bit different. The turns are different, the straightaways are different.
Tighter corners.
You know, and it's like, you know, if and you wonder what they can see because obviously they can't turn.
No.
They don't have mirrors. This is about as, you know, kind of like with you. Your head doesn't spin in a circle.
Yeah.
So you wonder what they can and can't see and how much they can and can't control because
It'd be nice if they would change their stuff around, but and you guys race with Outlaws all the time, but I'm like on the outside looking in, and I can see a lot of the stuff that would be different and challenge stuff and things like that.
They're not asking a good flagman for any advice?
No. Not today anyway.
Not today.
Biggest crash, like you flagged, like was it like a 3-car pile? Like what do you think is like been the biggest one that you saw and you were kind of thinking, oh my gosh, like this is crazy?
The worst one you ever see is when they put the big blankets up so people can't see what's going on. I hate seeing crashes, you know, even a small one. So I try and avoid that type of deal. But the worst one is when somebody doesn't get up and walk away from one. So that's the worst. Yeah. So
because some of the crashes out here, I just see them and I'm like gasping. I mean,
but the way they have the cars built and the seats built nowadays is all for safety and stuff. So
it's a lot safer.
sometimes a crash, like I was at the race when Kevin Goldberg was killed, and it was a crash, but it wasn't any different than any other crash. I mean,
it was an easy
crash. Just because it's intense, you know, they're so protected. But then the smallest crash can cause major problems, like when Terry McConnell broke his leg in half, or even when.
Well, look at Dale Earnhardt Sr. I mean, you know, there's a typical example. I mean, he slammed into the wall, and the following week or whatever, somebody else bangs into the wall, and they can walk away.
And that's how it was with Kevin that night. I mean, it was just like any other crash, and then you know when they bring the sheet out, it's not good.
Can't be good at all. Have you seen like any of the drivers, like have any of them like not listen to you and you've kind of really had to
really?
Yeah, really. Have you ever had a moment where like
Let's see, how many cars do they start every night?
69 last night.
Yeah.
27 of them
The night
and you're kind of thinking, hello, right here.
Well, especially because, and nowadays they got the radio thing in their ear, and I know the guy up on top is telling these guys where to pack and so all of a sudden I got to bring my move over flag or whatever and tell these guys where to go because we're trying to make the track better for them, and it just irritates me and to all get out. So it's just one of those things.
It's probably a good thing you don't have a racing.
You're right. You're right.
You know,
oh man.
At our racetrack, they do have direct communication with the driver.
He might.
He can push and talk to the driver.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But once again, that shouldn't have to be.
No.
Whoever is, you know, an official in the stand should be able to talk. But if you had one.
My voice would be.
Your voice is intimidating anyway, and you might get, you know, the language might.
Yeah, no, I try not to swear very much, so but it would, yeah. Yeah.
What do you want you're doing?
Yeah, because I don't talk to myself, but the guy doing the talking, I'll tell these guys to tell them to get in line or whatever. My biggest thing is one of my pet peeves is I don't know who started this deal. I don't know if it's late model guys or sprint car guys or whatever. But here at Knoxville, I only give these guys like 4 laps to the hot lap. So when I'm winding my arm up, telling these guys to gas it up, I want them to get it gassed up. But they're all sitting there waving their left hand out trying. Well, if everybody takes off at the same time, they're going to maintain that same spot. And I barked at them the other night at the driver's meeting, said I do not need practice waving the green flag. So it's one of those things. You just learn. You got to talk to them. I mean, you tell them what's going to happen at the driver's meeting. You tell them what you want on the racetrack, and you do it. You know?
Easy English.
Yep.
Really?
So,
simple.
Yeah.
You know, means go. Doesn't mean just keep that way, but once you speed up now, let's get going. Now let's.
Yeah, she's really loving this. This is her first time being in a place like this.
Yeah, I'm used to having a little small track in Langley. We were driving by this place, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is huge. And one person's like, a little track like this, and I kind of looked, and I said, what part of this track is little to you? Compared to some little tracks that I'm used to, this place is real big.
Okay, call me
awesome.
stupid, but where's Langley? Langley what?
Langley Speedway is near Hampton, Virginia, where I'm from. It's a really little track, and the local people can race there and things.
It's a 4/10 mile track.
It's real small. It's something little and local you can go to. It's not like the really paved.
It's a NASCAR track.
It's a NASCAR.
Okay, yeah.
And it's not like the Richmond one where it's like, that's a pretty big one. I haven't been to that one either. My parents have been to a Richmond race. I haven't yet. But I'm used to going to that one, and that compared to this is like nothing. So when she said little, I'm like, you want to see little? You should see the one that I usually go to Saturday nights. That's little. This is pretty big for me.
4/10 of a mile isn't little.
Are you saying little in perspective on the
To this,
racetrack, or
yeah,
the
little
facility?
compared to this,
Or
like
facility.
as in the track. If you compare Langley to this, that's little. Because when I look at this, I don't see this as little. Because this is a pretty big track for me. This is the first real big dirt track that I've been to.
Well, this is considered a half mile.
This is I'm loving coming here and seeing this.
4/10 mile track.
Y'all been to Virginia Motor Speedway, right? They're big.
She hasn't been.
Jamaica. That's right here. Kick the curb.
I'm really not a huge, I hate to say it's Tony Stewart, but I'm not a huge NASCAR fan. I think it's boring, and you can turn it on at the beginning, and then 3 hours later turn the last 10 laps on.
It's a long race.
And I'm not a road race fan. I don't enjoy that.
Yeah.
I like this. It's too bad everybody doesn't give this a chance, because you probably have.
They should. You guys should really check this out, because this is some awesome racing here. It's really intense.
You know, you're talking about this racetrack and stuff, and I had Jeff Gordon up on the flag stand the other day. What was it, Wednesday or Thursday night, whenever he is here.
Wednesday.
And I let him wave the green flag for a heat race, and he's waving the green flag. All of a sudden, this guy's coming out of 4, and he just piles his car up on the front straightaway. And the people up in the grandstand saw Jeff Gordon and said his mouth just fell open. And he turns around to me and says, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I said, I know that, Jeff. Relax.
Oh my
So
God.
do I get to start the race again? I said, yeah. So then, the next night I had the guy named Steve, the postman off MRN or whatever race or what station, and he was up there, and he was just like a little kid in a candy store, just smiles from ear to ear. So a lot of people don't realize what it's like being up on that flag stand and seeing how fast those cars are really going underneath it.
That's a pretty cool
zinging.
view.
They're zinging pretty good.
Well, I don't think a lot of pavement racers have any idea how intense dirt racing is.
No.
Because
Yep.
even
They should try it.
that Donny did, those guys get out of the car and I'm, oh my gosh. I want to say, if you think that's exciting,
Get in a sprint car.
and see if you can hang
Yeah.
on.
I've raced in NASCAR. I would definitely love to be able to try one.
Yeah.
I even went the other night when I was out here. I was even trying to see if I could buy a ride to do the double car just to see what it was like.
They're auctioning it off there next door here.
They're
auctioning it off
two-seater
next door. He wants to do it because he didn't get to, because he was actually going to try to do dirt racing, but then he got an injury, and he's like, you can stick with racing or you're going to lose that list, and he ended up, it was cheaper to do.
And the worst thing to do
Stop at.
is ride in a street car.
Really, Richard?
Seriously.
Oh
I
my
think it's on
goodness.
the second
Besides
page there.
him, that's what you're saying.
The worst thing to do is ride along in a
On the
street
back
car
side of
with
the page there.
a sprint car driver. Oh my God, there's just horrifying. I rode with Wolfgang. I've rode with a bunch of other sprint car drivers, and they're just terrible drivers. I mean, my son drove a race car for a couple of years or whatever, and I just hate his driving. I hate Doug Wolfgang's driving. I hate all sprint car drivers on the street.
Well, I had to drive for 19 hours with him up here. It wasn't that bad. He behaves when I'm in the car,
Yeah.
sort of. Every now and then he'll kind of,
Get carried away.
get a little carried away. But besides that, he's good, and he's family, so.
Say that because Donnie's like the most cautious driver.
Oh, is he? Really?
Yeah, everyone's different, though,
He's
so.
teaching Savannah, his stepdaughter, how to drive. She's 15.
Oh, really?
And I feel sorry for her, actually. Because
Left foot, right foot.
Oh, he's so strict and so.
He's really getting on the case.
He does not speed. He does not ever go anywhere without a seatbelt or a helmet.
Yeah.
On anything.
And oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, poor girl. Now I feel bad
Yeah,
for her.
I feel bad for her. He said, she was talking today, she's like, he won't let me get my license. He's so, and I know what he's like. Because I've listened to him instruct her.
Oh, yeah?
You know, and...
Donnie, relax a little.
It's like, listen up. It's like, geez, can I have somebody else teach me? Is anybody, like, willing, you know? Anybody else willing to try to teach me? He's way too strict. Oh, my
Grandma,
I know,
can we go for a ride?
Really, go with her instead.
I feel sorry for her. I'm like, oh, boy, just listening
He's
to him.
that bad, huh?
Yeah, he's very strict and very... I've never seen him get out of line in a vehicle. Now, my dad... Totally different.
Yeah.
It's the Wolfgang. Start, stop, start, stop. Gas, slam on the gas, slam on the corners. I hate riding with him. It gets me sick.
Yeah.
It's kind of those things where just close your eyes. Is it over? Are we there yet? Oh my gosh, land!
Yes! And it's like he pretends he's racing every time we get in a car, depending on what vehicle we're in or whatever.
Oh my goodness, that's one of those.
Say, if you're used to 2-foot driving and you get into a regular vehicle and try to drive regular, it does take a while.
Well, he doesn't do 2-foot driving. He just...
No, he's just...
It don't make any difference if you're going from the north side of town to the south side of town. If this other guy left the same time you did, he wants to beat him to the other side.
He wants to beat him there.
Competition.
Constantly. Good driver.
Almost not that bad. He's never really wrecked anything, but he's run into several things. But
Yeah, and they're up there in the snow country. Well, I am too, but they're up there. I can't imagine what he's like on the ice and the snow there.
Yeah.
Well, that must be interesting, isn't it?
Y'all ever have fun and do charity races and stuff like this?
Donnie? Well, just the Prelude is, strictly a charity race.
Right.
But,
I mean, something that's on the small side that doesn't get televised.
No,
there's nothing up in our part of the country that I can think of, huh?
Of course, if you have a racetrack, it feels like it's a charity. I say we're not non-profit, we're negative profit. But there's not much.
No, not that I can think of in our part of the country.
It takes quite a bit of money to promote anything charity. Like in racing, like if you have Stony, especially for the Prelude, it's not an easy deal, even when you have, funds that are available. But
wasn't there a go-kart one that you said was happening here?
Chesapeake, Virginia, or Virginia Beach.
There's a children's hospital.
We bring up drivers from, some of them from Charlotte, the truck drivers, Diane drivers, a couple of nationwide drivers, sometimes tires come up. You never get truck drivers.
You never get a flagman from South Dakota either, have they? Ah!
Hey, maybe it's come.
There you go.
All right.
I'll have to call you. Come on.
With one eye.
Yeah.
One eye. We'll have to, maybe we can try to get you up there.
That's like free advertising.
I
Last time we did it, we did have only 50 racers at a time doing it because we did divide up into 5 people per team and have 10 cars and 5 running around the north. Nice race.
I couldn't believe all the legends they had here the other night.
That was a lot more than last year.
And the majority of them were from like North Carolina, I heard, and they paid $2,000 a win or something. I said,
There wasn't
wow.
a lot of spots changing there.
No.
That's the only thing about the legends.
But that's a benefit
traffic.
thing too, I guess, for the police forces or
That's
something.
what that was. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I think they did one of those same things a few years back at Charlotte too with the legends, because
Yeah.
Don actually drove and Tony, and they did a fundraiser at Charlotte there for that, because that was the first time Don drove a legend.
Yeah.
And speaking of auction, we're going to have all the people that we've talked to, including Terry and other people, sign our little banner that we have here. It's got the Let's Talk Racing symbol. We plan on auctioning it off on eBay and raising money for charity. I'm trying to talk Roger, if not Children's King's Daughters Relay for Life, because, a lot of people are affected by cancer and things like that, Something that'll help lots of people, and we're hoping that a lot of people option for it. We can raise a decent amount for charity, because it's always nice to do things like that and help out. I usually walk for Relay for Life every year, and it always falls like near my dad's birthday or on my dad's birthday. I'll be like, "Happy birthday, bye! I'm gonna go, help save some people's lives, walking around a track." And he's like, "Okay, have fun," and give him a birthday gift and head out the door. But besides that, it's really nice to do the charity. Then again, like you said, it's expensive, so sometimes the charity is actually coming to the track, right?
Yeah.
It can't be easy.
And I don't know if people really realize it, but like for the Schatz, I mean, it's expensive to go from, say, New York to Knoxville Raceway, just in fuel bills.
Oh,
I mean, it's terrible, and
because when we were driving up here, we were filling up, and one place will be like almost $4 again. Then you drive down the road, and it's like $30.30.
Yeah.
And it's like if you just drove another mile, it would have been cheaper because it's not easy, traveling all that way.
Yeah.
I've traveled a lot with my family, so I know the cost and
then
things
back
like
to
that.
the promoter deal. A lot of people, like I hear from the grandstand side, people are always complaining, well, they charge $40 to get in. Well, the World Outlaws charge $50,000 for a sanctioning fee, so, or whatever it is. So you got to cover up some of that a little bit, unless you're really a millionaire or billionaire or whatever. So, oh, yeah, we'll just sell tickets for $10 and then you guys watch the best show in the country, that type of deal.
Well, there's a value to everything.
Yeah.
You got to look how much it costs to go to a NASCAR race for the worst ticket.
Yeah.
So...
And what you have to do for parking and...
Yeah.
I know, and they have all the parking and everything else that you gotta put
Can
into
of beer is
it.
$5. See, I relate a lot of my life to the beer price.
That's like we want to go Chinese restaurant. How good is the teriyaki chicken?
Yeah.
If it ain't poop, forget the rest of it. Go find another place.
They asked yesterday from the TV station what one of the best sellers were, and I said, gee, I don't know if I want to say what it is. It's canned koozies. I mean, there's a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
It's not the best seller, but, Knoxville is one of the places that, everybody's
else is
looking
there
for
to do?
canned koozies. Yeah, well,
all day long.
Eat sweet corn.
there you go. That goes good together, beer and sweet corn.
Yeah, I don't know about that comment. I'll go for the beer. I don't know about the sweet corn.
We always have festivals. Ugh, I can't talk. When we have festivals where I come from, there's always the sweet corn. They have it there, and it's always good. I always get it everywhere I go. It's really great. And what do you think would be your favorite thing, when you come here, you've been around places, what do you think would be, your favorite local thing that you had, the sweet corn things at festivals, If you ever gotten and you were like, wow, that was really good. I like that a lot.
We've been fortunate where we're at across the street. They've usually got a barbecue stand or Dairy Queen very close to our trailer. And everybody that has ever been there, they've got great brisket sandwiches there. Somebody new this year. Last year it was a different gal, and she had deep fried dill pickles. They were awesome.
Wow.
Wasn't
before
Paula
that
Dean,
it was a dairy.
Wasn't Bloody?
She's into the frying the dill pickles now.
Oh,
I watch the Food Channel a lot because I cook a lot.
Paula's good.
Dip in ranch. It's really good.
What's that?
Deep fried pickles.
Yeah.
Bread it and dip it in ranch dressing.
We've had taco in a bag. Honestly, the food here has been excellent for years. And like I said, where we're at, we've got it within.
She hasn't had my ribs because I cooked some ribs Tuesday. They were.
Well, now that
Some get a couple
Where's
guys.
your stand?
No, there ain't no stand. You have to have a license for that. But there's a couple of guys who want to challenge me some ribs, smoking some ribs and stuff. So I brought my smoker down and
Go ahead
I
and
cooked
do it.
like 6 racks of ribs and stuff, and everybody loved them. They were
They're
good. They were
in their
good.
truck stop
Make
and
another
restaurant business,
save
so good food is high on our priority list.
Hey, make one, save one for me. I love me some ribs.
No,
man.
I'm done cooking now.
Aw.
It's all the week's over.
Man,
When I go to
Roger, we
the
missed
different
out.
racetracks, I want to say, okay, where's the good place to get good steaks and good barbecue?
Yeah, where's a good barbecue place?
Good thing about the ribs is that does go good with Miller Lite.
Yeah. Those are my 2 days off that I had, and I made sure I drank my shares, so I'm good to go.
You're ready for the rest of the week?
The week's over now.
it's not.
The bad thing about this day, Saturday, is for as far as Knoxville, the season's just about over. There's only a few more races left here and stuff. So then I'll have to go back to my reality job, I guess.
What is that?
I powder coat truck wheels and stuff. So it's just.
How do you think the race is going to go tonight? Because this is the world big race and everything. How do you think?
Who's your pick?
Yeah, who's your pick?
Really?
Who do you-
Are you guys really gonna? I'm not. No.
Who-
Well,
Yeah, hold on, everybody. You put in some earplugs real quick. Okay, so
but after watching Donny run last night, and then Sammy was leading, and Donny ran him down. I mean, it's hard to go against it. And it's not because the shots are sitting there, because Donny was shot fast last night. So
we'll say, who do you think will be close? We'll put it that way. Who do you think will be real close?
Who's your top fives? No order.
No order. Just top five in the order.
I can give you Jason. I'm thinking Jason Meyer and Sammy Swindell will be up there for sure, and that's about as far as I can go. Top three, or and Kinser's going to have a lot of work to do. I'm not sure where Craig Kinser starts, but I'd say those.
He's in the top 10.
Huh?
I think Craig is in the top 10.
Ninth. And it's all going to be where they start at, but I'd say it's going to be a good race.
It's going to be a real good, exciting race.
Now you're at the final day of the Knoxville Nationals. What will they be doing as far as getting ready and set for everything? Any other racing that's going to be going on today? How many different things are yet to be done? It's going to be the one big race in.
No, we got, what is there? It used to be, it started out with an F and an E and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure what all they're doing. I know I have a driver's meeting at 3:30, so that's about all I know about.
What time is it?
It's 1 o'clock.
Man, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we got to get back there. We got to.
We're having too much fun.
Well, we'll wrap it up real quick, see all places to go. And we want to thank you so much for being on the show. This is great. And nice to talk to you all. And
y'all.
I say y'all. I'm from the South. Don't judge me.
I thought Virginia was like northeast.
I know some of my family's from South, the Carolinas and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
really?
that's kind of hooked on to me.
So you ever been married?
What?
Have you ever been married?
No, I'm 17. What you talking about?
Really? Oh my God! Wow!
Nice. He was going to ask you if you wanted to. I bet he sees that line of me. I was seeing it coming. You weren't seeing it.
Oh,
you're only 17?
Yes.
Wow.
I guess I don't look like it because people are mistaking me for me being older. I don't know why, but they think I'm older.
They look older nowadays and they're not.
When I'm old.
That's that makeup stuff.
Anyways, thank you for watching the show, and we'll have it posted on later. And keep in tune. We'll hopefully get some drivers and your son on the show. Thank you all so much.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Natalie Sather. I drive the 94 K&N Lady Eagle Safety Wear, Butler built seats, bell helmets, hooker harness seat belts, number 94 at South Boston Speedway. Be sure to listen to Let's Talk Racing TV.
I'm Sam Hunt, driving the 42 car on the thing Let's Talk Racing.
Hey guys, I'm Daytona 500 winner Trevor Bain, and thank you for watching Let's Talk Racing.
Hi, I'm Robert Richardson Jr., driver of the number 23 Dodge Challenger for R3 Motorsports in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you're watching Let's Talk Racing.
I'm Timothy Peter, driver of the number 17 Toyota NASCAR Camp World Truck Series, and you're listening to Let's Talk Racing.
Let's Talk Racing is brought to you by PC Doctors, Computer Sales and Services. This doctor still makes house calls. And also Hampton Incredible Tees and Signs, both located at 1248 North King Street in Hampton, Virginia.